Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome into episode 12 of Pariahs. Ooh. Oh, God, losing my voice already. That's not a good start. Holy shit. Cheers to another weekend. That's nearly done and over. God, so depressing. Yeah. God, blimey. Steel. Thank you, my dude, for that 68-month Tier 3 resub. Single-handedly keeping my supply of Pirates Grog rum going. Thank you, buddy. Lee with the 58 months, nearly 5 years. I know, man. I'm just give me the money. Rayvon, thank you for the 100 bitties. Appreciated. Yeah, let's just get straight into it, shall we? Hello.
Greetings.
Fucking hello me, you.
Wow.
I hope you appreciate what I just went through to log into Twitch to watch this stream.
Oh, no.
She wants a special thank you.
She got all the special thank yous last fucking week. Thank you very much.
Did I? I don't remember. Oh, yeah. I guess I did.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is that, Cypher? Good talk.
Sorry, I was pouring a drink.
See, this is what during the video. That's what I do. I'm like, oh yes, it's time for a drink. Pop.
Well, I thought it was going to be a bit more banter there, but apparently not.
No. I'm just throwing you straight into the deep end.
Straight into it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we started off with some scheming and some plotting. We'll start with what Dorian did. He went to the governor's office to dig around in some books and some paperwork to see what he could find. Focusing on, I think he was focusing on me. Fuck me, joke. Focusing on
Focusing on fucking you. Okay.
I mean, with a voice like that, you know. Alright, moving on. I was focusing on activities the Doctore had been, like anything that they'd filed or anything that pertained to anything that they're trying to get done. I found out they were moving large quantities of food and water to a rather odd, rather specific area of the city. Which was the Dirktown slums. Which is actually not a piece of the city that we've ever been.
Probably
it is a floating shithole.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally an island favela. That deals. That's probably full of sailors and out of work sailors. Thus the slums. So he found out quite a bit because he rolled. Was there not 20? Wasn't it?
It was. Yes, he found out everything.
Everything he ever wanted was his. So that was good. Mucho grande. And Cypher met up with Valentina and was like, "Hey, you get your sisters to do some sneaking and find some stuff for us, and send a message to your sister with Osmond, and tell him his presence is requested at the next." I don't think I said he's summoned.
Yeah.
To the folly.
Yeah. Summoned. Make yourself known ASAP.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I said the next fight night, which is probably days away. I'm guessing there's at least once or twice a week.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, maybe even be tonight.
Whenever we fucking say so,
Exactly.
and whenever it fits into the plot, okay? she agreed to this while... See, chat, here's the problem, alright? We've done 2 campaigns of D&D. And in each campaign, the DM has to find an NPC to flirt with me. What does that say about the DM?
Hang on. All right. Whoa. What episode's this in the whole grand scheme of Pariahs?
Oh, that's fair.
Like,
you did wait a while to flirt.
I've waited about 70 odd episodes. You know.
Why? Because you didn't want to flirt with a 2-year-old.
Over, 10 days of actual game time. So cut me some slack.
I'm just saying, I'm starting to see a trend. Keep an eye out, chat. So the usual hijinks, which set the tone for Vanya the entire fucking session. Sitting on laps is now the in thing, apparently. It's how you mark your territory, right, Vanya?
Yeah, that's what she learned. And she was getting all the deets from Reza on how to do it.
Yep. Oh, resident woman of Allure, Reza. Yeah, comes with the territory of being a vampire, I guess. But speaking of Reza, she got a gift brought to her by her stone cat, Familiar, in the form of a dead messenger bat. Oh, poor little bugger, he's doing his fucking job. You didn't have to kill him. That message had in... it was basically just brief directions to a magical shop. Has Solution put it on the map yet?
I haven't. No, I will do that now. Whilst you're continuing on.
You're welcome. So yeah, back to the fucking Magister District. Once again, for the second day in a row. Only this time to a little magical shop called the Jade... something or other. What's
Jade Claw Antiquities.
That's the one! And it took some finding, because it was literally just a fucking hole in the wall. It was like a door with a sign. Not even a sign, right? It
Behind a pipe.
Yeah, behind a pipe. Yeah, well done, DM. You hid a door.
I did.
You did. But it makes sense because as they step through and quite possibly into possibly a pocket dimension with fake sunshine and all of the magical goodies. And quite possibly a spell that would turn you into a puddle of steaming fucking vitriol if you're not wearing your pin or have it upon your person. Nice to know after the fact. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. You guys leave your pins? No, I brought them with. Yeah.
I mean,
just as well we needed them to get through the gates, eh?
Yeah, I mean there was 2 potential TPKs. One stepping into the Jade Claw Antiquities and the other one in Coinflow. With Reza.
Oh, yeah. Reza nearly put a fucking bag of holding in a bag of holding.
Nearly put 5 bags of holding into a bag of holding. Now, for those who aren't familiar, if you put a bag of holding into another bag of holding, it basically creates the D&D equivalent of a black hole.
Yeah, that was Callie having a brain fart. That Reza did not actually do that. She promptly handed them out to other people and did not almost end the campaign.
It would have been funny if that's how Pariahs ended, though.
It would have been.
Or with just a fucking...
A 60-foot crater in the middle of Coinflow District.
We'd never bring it up in conversation again.
Do you remember Pariahs? No, that campaign's dead to us. All that time wasted.
Why doesn't Callie
Remember my
play D&D
favourite
with you
character.
anymore?
She got sucked into a black hole where she belongs.
Sorry, Cypher, do continue.
So yeah, we went to not really a shop. It was more like a broker, I guess, as the currency was something to trade, and the value of whatever you were set to trade was set by the owner. What he valued to be more valuable to him. So definitely wiggle room to play on his more whimsical eccentricities, because I do believe he kept the shinies close at hand. He does like the shinies. But I do believe everybody got something or some things of great use. As
Absolutely.
we spent 2 hours fucking shopping. It's a bad idea for the DM. He's like halfway through the session. He's like, here's a list of magical items. And we're like, yeah, don't mind us. Don't mind us. While we read the entire list for the next 2 hours.
It's, as I said to you during that stream, though, we have never done a magical items shopping spree. So I thought it was apt to at least give you all a chance to experience it. Yeah. And even so, the downtime was very much appreciated. There was still our role play between everyone, so it's good times. It was good times.
Right.
So, with items in hand, you all departed Jadeclaw Antiquities, headed back to the Folly, with Reza perhaps making another trip out to come back to get something else that she had her eye on. But that leaves you all with the rest of the day to plan, to plot.
And to stop at the Bloodworks on our way home.
Oh, yeah. That's what we were going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the one place I've completely forgot to get the image for.
Oh.
It's all good. Doesn't matter, because Bloodworks is pretty much close to the Magister District, so rather than faff around with that.
DM's cheesing it.
DM's cheesing it. Hey, Orc, how you doing? But I thought you were doing a mega long 12-hour stream. Slacker. Alright, with that said though, on the return journey, instead of making your way straight back through the Temple District, you all begin to take... if I imagine all of you, or is it just some of you?
Yeah, all of us, right?
Yeah,
Vanya... Go ahead.
I was going to say Vanya's going to go where the crowd goes, so...
And Dorian's going to tag along because he's never seen this place that he can recall, and he's interested.
Okay. Garrett, was there something you wish to add there?
Yeah, I'm going because I want some blood.
Okay. Following just off from Jadeclaw Antiquities would lead you onto another main road that borders Magister and Forlorn District. There isn't much of a divide between the two districts. They both are very similar in architecture, in townsfolk. As you begin to make your way back into in the direction of the Bloodworks, this towering building pretty much peaks over all of the local buildings. Several spires poke into the sky with what looks to be a reddish hued mist pumping high up into the atmosphere. It's surrounded by large walls. From where you are, it's definitely almost a landmark this side of the city. The guards would eye you warily as you make your way down the main street. You reach the drawbridge over the river, again with a quick flash of the pins given to you by Houseful Pescu. None stop you. There's no interrogations, there's no questions, just a brief look at the pin, a nod, and over you go. Here, though, on the opposite side of the canal where the Bloodworks is located, the sheer amount of Bloodwork automatons would grow in number. Whereas before in Forlorn, in Magister District, there would be the odd one or two with warden escorts. Here, almost the automatons surrounding the Bloodworks outnumber the guards themselves. Bear with me. Oh, adverts. As you begin to make your way closer to the Bloodworks gate, there's a queue of, just as a quick count, at least 50 or so people. All lining up towards a large red gate. Here, guards are looking over a few papers before waving them inside, and to the right of that gate is more of a portcullis. And with you approaching, you can kind of see that through the portcullis there's a separation, a divider from those entering the red gate and then the open courtyard behind the portcullis.
The ones that are entering, are they vampires? Can we tell if they're undead or not?
Yeah, I was just about to ask, do they look like they're going in to make donations?
They do indeed look like they're your average everyday people looking to make donations and not those of the aristocracy. They're not vampires.
So they're the cattle, okay.
They are indeed
Yep.
the cattle. Yes.
So Reza will make her way towards the other entrance.
As you begin to make your way closer, two Bloodwork automatons begin to stamp forward, the cobbles beneath their feet creaking at the sheer weight of these things as two of them just greet the party as they approach. Behind the two automatons, there's one of the long, black-cloaked warden guards who raises a hand.
Hold! You are here in the Bloodworks. State your business, intention, or perhaps are you in the wrong line?
I am here as a representative of House Pescu.
The blank mask looks towards both of the Bloodwork automatons, and with a quick click of his fingers, you just see both of the armoured giants just begin to let off a bit of steam, and their arms start to go slack.
Very well. Mistress of House Pescu, welcome to the Bloodworks. What is your business here today? Collection? Or other?
Well, today is an exciting day, you see. This is the first time my patron has allowed me to run this errand, and I am also training several other representatives of the house. And she makes a gesture to everyone behind her. We would like to learn what the process is here and what products are available, if you'd be so kind as to educate us.
Oh, that's a little too much for me, but I will pass message down to the office to send someone to collect you, my lady. But in the meantime, if you and your companions would be doing the duty honour of signing in.
He motions towards the guard booth just off to the side of the gate. And glancing around, you can see there's a small pedestal with a large leather-bound tome on top of it.
Of course. And you are too kind, thank you. And she walks over to the pedestal and in the nicest script she can muster, she writes her name, Teresa Blackthorn.
Teresa Blackthorn. Okay.
Uh-huh.
What are the rest of you doing? Any questions or comments? Anything you wish to bring up?
Cypher's in full analytical mode. He's looking at the bloodwork automatons and trying to figure out how they work.
Roll me an Arcana check. 14? That's not bad. As you make your way past the two automatons, here in the lantern-lit, brightly lit courtyard almost of the Bloodworks Foundry, you would see that there's a multitude of tubes that protrude from their back that sort of snake down into the joints, obviously pumping blood, and at the core, just underneath you would see that on the front of them, there's a panel that would open up that has several vents on that glows a familiar colour. It's actually slightly blue.
Like the lighting in the Undercity?
Like
blue?
The lighting in the Undercity blue.
Okay.
So would the assumption be they're using the same lighting like we have in the Shadowed Circle?
Cypher, do you want to answer that one? Because I think you're getting what I'm putting down.
I'm guessing this is magics from the city below.
Yes, they are
And we're
using... It's not so much as a searchlight, more of they're using the magic crystals that you're using for illumination, almost like a power source.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You can't see much
Wonderful.
of the actual mechanics beneath these armoured behemoths that guard the gate, but just from a quick glance, somehow they are using these crystals from the city below to power some arcane mechanism beneath the armour that seems to turn blood from liquid to steam.
Stinky.
Absolutely, this whole place reeks of iron. The air tastes of blood. But, clues in the name.
After examining them, I'll just follow him behind Resin and just quill my name down.
GM Night Fox, welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. It doesn't take long before you see a rather pale gentleman start to make his way from the main doors of what you assume to be the reception office. Long black coat, white shirt, ruffled, slicked back hair, and very deep sunken eyes. His approach is incredibly graceful. That of perhaps a butler or someone who's had at least some form of etiquette training or guidance. And there is no doubts in your minds that this man is, by all accounts, a vampire.
Yep. Reza will turn to him and maybe take another step or two forward and prepare to greet him as he walks out, as the representative of the party.
It is a pleasure to make all of your acquaintances. I am Adeloth van McCarn, current head receptionist of the Bloodworks. I believe, or at least I've had a message regarding an inspection from the house.
Not so much an inspection.
He
More
bows
of a...
deeply towards you, Reza, as you're the one who's immediately started taking charge.
Yes. This is a new assignment for myself, a promotion, if you will, within our household, and I'm also training these other servants on what the process is at Bloodworks, in case I am never unable to fulfill my duties for my mistress.
Ah, is that so? I see. Well, if I may get the names of those who I will be conversing with this on this little jaunt.
I am Teresa Blackthorn, at your service. And she bows, does a little dip elegantly.
Mm-hmm. Lady Blackthorn, a pleasure. And your servants, I believe you mentioned?
They can introduce themselves.
Oh, how magnanimous of you. Very well.
I don't remember all their names. And she winks at him.
He just offers you this sly, shit-eating smirk, and a single brow raises for a moment in camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
Cypher raises an eyebrow at Reza's.
Well, come on then, speak up. We haven't all day.
Cypher.
No. He just looks over you, Cypher, mentioning just a two-syllable name. He looks back towards you, Reza, and just... he doesn't need to exhale, as vampires don't breathe, but you would just see his body just visibly... He'll turn his attention back towards you, Reza.
Understandable. Perhaps they can follow in tow, yes?
Yes, that I would appreciate it.
So if, please, this way. Come. I'll show you around and give you a little bit of a guided tour for the more interesting parts, at least. If I may ask, under which mistress are you currently here?
Reza promptly answers, but I have to check through my notes.
Dame Coder.
Dame Coder.
There's a look of shock on his face for a moment as he looks back towards you.
The Hound herself? My goodness, you have my deepest of condolences for working for serving such an esteemed mistress as her.
Indeed, it is a great honor.
Honor, yes, of course. Now, with that said, come.
He begins to lead you all into through a large set of what appears to be ironwood double doors. Each door itself has got such an intricate designed brasswork, but the doors don't seem heavy. He just with ease pushes them both and they swing open, revealing a large hall. On the left-hand side of the room seems to be several counters. Behind them, various clerks and administrative employees, probably the best way to put it. Serfs seem to busybody around, some grabbing paperwork, others stamping, grabbing various vials, checking them before putting them in boxes that are then shifted to another counter further down, which is a little bit more secure. 2 wardens stand by, and you can plainly see that this seems to be a collections office. And it doesn't take long for this realization to hit, as from behind you hear the sound of wheels on cobble as a wagon pulls up. Several labourers jump out of the wagon, rush past you, head towards this collections office at the far end, grab several large crates of, at a quick glance, appears to be... In fact, you would recognise it to be the... very similar to the bottle that Lady Vulpescu produced in your meeting. Not as fancy, by any means, but still the same stuff. Before again these labourers rush out back into the towards the wagon to perhaps make their delivery to, who knows? No doubt various members of the aristocracy further in the city. With that said, though, in this central hall on the right-hand side, there is another row of desks. These appear to be more, one could say almost accounting or foreman's desks. You see every now and again the odd individual stand up from the desk wearing a long white apron. Sorry, I've got the cat screaming in my ear at the minute. That's why I'm a little away with it. I'm going to have to just go away. So yeah, with that said though, sorry, I'm going to have to let this cat out. Bear with me.
Ah, yes, felines.
Sorry about that. I'm trying to talk, and every minute I'm getting a paw on my leg, a shout in my ear. I'm like, dude, just not now. I'm trying. Okay. So, desks left are desk right. Yeah. Okay. So, with that said, though, the gentleman who's been escorting you turns around towards you, Reza. So, with regards to your purpose, I believe a tour?
More so an understanding of the, shall we say, products, for lack of a better term, that are available.
Ah, very well. Good. In that case, then, he motions a hand to the right, ushering you towards one of the side desks, small offices. Please come this way. We shall have a brief chat. I can show you what we do here, give you a brief rundown. As for the rest, if you wish to acquire some of the product, then points over towards the left-hand side of the chamber. Requisitions are to be made over yonder, and after roughly 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the quality, goods should be available for collection shortly after on the far end counter.
Lovely. Did you all take note of that in the location? Very good. Lead on, my lord.
Oh, please, don't my lord me. You work for Dame Cordair. If anything, I should be bowing in deference to you. Now, for those who follow, he ushers you onto one of the side chambers just off from the desks on the right, sits down, grabs a piece of parchment and a quill pen, and looks up towards you. So, main things that are produced here is obviously the court, the aristocracy, and all of our kin need to be fed, and therefore we make sure that the goods on offer are of the finest purity and quality. the last thing we want is, some of the riffraff from the slums slinking into the food supply. You may as well start drinking poisoned water ourselves, huh?
Yes, in my younger days I was forced to scavenge, and it is not a pleasant existence.
You had to... Dame Cordier certainly has...
It is occasionally difficult being in her service, but the rewards are great, and many.
Yes. So, are you wanting to acquire a shipment for yourself for Dame Cordier, or to set up some other business? And in regards to quality, what are we looking for? Sort of A grade, or are you happy for, if it's for those below you, perhaps Bs?
Well, I, of course, would only reserve the finest for my lady. But yes, I'm sure that bees are more than good enough for myself.
Bees? So those folks from the lanterns and... Okay, very well. He begins to scrap down a few notes on the parchment in front of him.
Well, it might not hurt to treat myself to an A every now and then,
So may I put you down for a crate of A's for once a fortnight, perhaps?
Let's, just for today, I'll take 5 A's. I need to confirm with my mistress what our order schedule is.
5 crates of A's. Marvellous.
Just... Okay, yes, that's 5.
Looking at the crates, you get the impression that each crate would probably hold about 24 vials of blood, so around about 24 pints.
Let's just do 1 for now.
Go on, Garrett.
Garrett leans forward and whispers into ear. That'll be fine.
Oh, you want 5?
Yeah.
No, I'm being so 5. We'll do 5 because I don't fancy making the trip back down here very often. So leave it at 5. I'm sure they can carry it.
Well, if you're not wishing to make the trip yourself, then I'm able to offer a pass on your behalf for others to come and collect.
This is incredibly convenient. Can you, which one of you can remember how to get here? Raise your hands. She kind of looks back and sees...
Garrett's hand moves ever so slightly.
Okay, so you and anyone else?
You see Vanya's hand lift up, but she's lifting a pastry to her mouth.
Okay,
and is
yes,
eating
you. Right, okay, eating normal food. So weird to see that. Right, okay, so I guess 2 pulses?
That certainly won't be a problem. Under Lady Blackthorn of House Vulpescu. Okay, that will take... in fact, are you all right for, let's say, 20 minutes or so? I need to make sure the majors are kicked and adequate, ready for the imbuement. I'm also going to need a just a small amount of your own blood, if I may. Whilst he's talking, he seems to be looking behind him, going through the several filing cabinets behind him before eventually takes another piece of parchment, this time much smaller, roughly about 6 inches long and about 2-inch wide, as he puts it on the counter in front of you and slides it over towards you, Reza. You will see at the bottom there's a black circle that seems to imply a thumbprint or a fingerprint is required there.
Fascinating. And you just need a drop of my blood?
Drop of the blood on a finger or a thumb, just as something that, should the passers ever fall into unscrupulous hands, we can put a pass or a message out from others so that it basically they'll be caught by the automatons.
Oh, that sounds delightful. Certainly. And she'll lift her thumb to her mouth and like press it against one of her incredibly sharp canines. And then put her thumb down on the appropriate spot on the paper.
You've done exactly what he was expecting. Most other, no other vampire would put a weapon to themselves.
No,
So, yeah.
We are weapons.
You are indeed weapons. You put your thumb or finger down onto this circle and put a blood-stained thumbprint on the mark. He offers a nod, quickly begins to scribble some notes onto the top part of the parchment before sliding it aside.
Quick question.
For the DM or for...
For the DM.
Yep.
Did Reza feel anything kind of like magical or arcane happen when she pressed her thumbprint to the paper?
Yes, but for how much? Roll me an Arcana check.
Ooh, okay. Tries to remember how to roll an Arcana check. It's only been a week.
It's the one that says Arcana.
Inzuve.
Holy shit, that's one of a crit.
One level of wizard, guys.
Yeah. So, yes, there is a slight arcane reverberation as you put your thumbprint on the paper. The blood seems to soak into the parchment before not so much bursting into flames, but there is a crackle of reddish black fire as the thumbprint is burned into the parchment. You get the...
Would Vanya...
so go on,
good, sorry.
No, go on.
Would Vanya see this and kind of recognize that type of magic?
Roll me an Arcana check. A 19. You would. Or at least not this exact magic, but it's has certain telltale signs similar to that of your contracts, in that with the blood of someone on a piece of parchment, there is a chance, if the parchment fell into the wrong hands, that you perhaps could be tracked. But it is certainly a way of validating your identity. Hence, as the escort said earlier, if you lose these passes, it's probably best to report it to the Bloodworks so that the thieves can be found if they try and use it.
I appreciate the level of security taken around this business. It is good to see.
Well, there has been a few issues in the past where some of the houses got a little handsy with passes from other houses and put them in a considerable amount of debt due to purchasing crates of product far out of their usual reach.
Hey, we saw such a fellow taken care of just yesterday.
Sandoval, by any chance? No. We're talking of Moretti.
Indeed.
Ah, of course. He leans in. Funny story about that.
Really? And she leans forward with like a hand on her chin on her hand.
Supposedly, the reason he was burnt was he'd ordered a fair amount of goods on Moretti's tab for Sandoval. Do you know how much some of the individuals from House Sandoval owe this place? Most of Sandoval are currently on B ranked.
V.
No. V?
One of the great houses, but you didn't hear this from me.
Oh, no, never.
Yes, in fact, bear with me. You see him lean back for a moment. His eyes flicker. There's a slight resonance of arcane energies. Vanya, you would tell, with the brief mutter of words, this is the message spell. And as a moment passes, his eyes open. Yes, that's the one. So, the last time the Sendevils actually ordered a or greater grade of product was at least 7 months ago. Even the great Sendevel himself is, well, who knows? I know he doesn't order from us anymore.
Oh, but I have to say that does make me want to do a little happy dance, but I never heard it, so I can't.
So, just so that I understood what happened, Solution, I noticed him doing the
message spell,
the messenger spell.
Yeah, so as if he was trying to converse with someone else further down.
Like trying to get more to the story,
Yes.
Or would I be concerned with him, like?
Yeah, he was checking with accounting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally just vampire gossip.
Yeah, we're gossiping. Right? This is like hot vampire goss.
I wanted to make sure that he wasn't like, oh, somebody's interested in this, and
No,
okay.
I can say with absolute certainty, for you, Vanya, you certainly know people. This is very much. There's no malice at all towards you all. This is pretty much hot vampire gossip, courtly intrigue, laying some, perhaps giving away too much information for someone in his position, but I dare say that you're all starting to get the impression that even amongst vampire high society, Sandoval's a bit of a joke. Another advert already? Cacophony? Surely not.
Right? We only had one like half an hour ago.
Yeah.
I don't. Is it? It doesn't show the thing at the top.
Cacophony's having a blip. Get your shit together. All right. Anyway, with that though, any questions or anything that anyone wishes to bring forth in regards to Bloodworks?
More the gossiping. How frowned upon is that? Like, should he be telling us this shit?
Roll me an insight check.
I don't know.
I mean,
that's a natural one, man.
yeah, exactly. I know it is. I know it, and that's. But even then, it's like, people gossip.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you anything for a natural one, but I'm going to play it for a bit. Go on, Garrett.
So,
Reza?
I'm going to say that this guy's not a fan of House Sandoval at the best of times.
I'm a.
Yep, go on.
No. You.
Yes, that's certainly a given. On top of that, one thing to remind you all, you are aware that the Bloodworks is fully under the control of Vulpescu.
So he's literally one of our underlings,
He
technically?
is, technically, you are batting for the same team.
We are all family here.
Yes.
No,
family.
don't.
Family. Yes.
Family.
Family. So, yeah,
So, go ahead.
yeah, so basically, yeah, the Bloodworks is under House Vulpescu's control. All of the people who work in the Bloodworks, by extension, work for House Vulpescu.
So, Rez is going to kind of lean in and look around conspiratorially and then, like, get even closer to his face. You're saying the Count himself hasn't placed an order?
No. No, we've had nothing from the Count himself for about 7 months now. Where he's getting his sustenance from, well, I mean, who knows? Perhaps he's dragging people out of the, off the beaches, those pining to get into High Seat, and just feasting on them, but,
Oh, how low can one get?
I mean, I dare say if he's starting to pull people off the Crimson Beach, then, well, I dare say he's fallen pretty low. Granted, there are the other rumours around that the Sandoval's are falling apart from the outside in, and none of them care for family or commitments.
Have you heard the one about the Doctore?
No.
Oh, well, you certainly didn't hear it from me. But there are rumors about that something's going on between the Sandovals and the Doctore, and some weird concoctions have shown up in the hands of the Doctore. But goodness knows where that rumor's come from.
Doctore, as in those from typically operate Barak, pointy faces?
Yes, those creatures.
Who?
Yes. Who would willingly associate with... But anyway, I've probably overstepped, but,
Well, no, but that's a valid point, because if... I mean, the Doctore, they... oh, shit, what... There's a rare expletive from him as he begins to look through various files in his desk. The Doctore, they are mostly... they call themselves doctors, alchemists, brewers of various concoctions to help ailments, whereas... The problem is, if there has been a few of Sandoval's agents here relatively recently... Yaski. Do you mind?
Is Yaski a Sandoval? Is he a doctor in disguise?
He probably is.
Fluffy spy.
In fact, hang on, let me... Look. Come on. If you're making noise, come and say hello at least to everyone. Because you've been nothing but a pain this session. There. Say hello to the camera, and then be gone. Foul knave.
You can't kick him out. He's too cute.
So...
Can Vanya cast like a telepathic link on Reza really quick?
Absolutely.
Reza nods slightly, indicating she heard. Wait, no, she doesn't need to. Telepathic link.
Yeah.
I need more coffee. Reza whispers back mentally. Yes.
Would it, since we know that maybe the Sandoval order from here, maybe, I don't know how you would go about doing this since you are now best friends with this individual, to get who the contact is, or maybe their schedule, so that we
delivery
have
address.
Yeah,
I'll see what I can do.
thank you.
I forgot what I was saying. I was distracted by the cat.
Yeah, you and me both. He's been a menace this session. I think it's because normally on a Sunday my wife's here to entertain him. She's out for the weekend, so there's just me. Yes, you can't.
So I guess Reza's just leaning in closer, as so they're having this conspiratorial conversation.
Yep.
Would Reza know? Obviously, Sandoval are in high seat, but I don't know. Never mind. Never mind. Withdraw the question.
Okay. With that information slipping, though, anybody else have anything they wish to bring forth? Considering that you're all members of House Vulpescu, you all seem to be friends here.
Cypher's going to look at Dorian and then look at the vampire and go, the delivery address for that last Sandoval wasn't by chance at Dirktown, was it?
Dirktown, outside the walls. Oh, no. It was, bear with me. It begins to flick through a couple of parchments before shaking it. No, in fact, give me a second. Once again, with a brief mutter of arcane words, the message spell is sent out. I will have that information in a moment, but... Dirktown, outside the walls? But then, as you said, if Sandoval and the Morbistock... They're not operating outside the walls. Really? They've fallen that far?
Well... And Reza will gently put her hand on his. I've just had a thought.
Oh?
What if the Bartore are starting to dabble in blood concoctions and they've been supplying the Sandoval's? What if they're trying to undermine the bloodworks?
Well, if that is the case, then you get evidence, and I'm absolutely certain that you'll have more than enough justification to send some of the wardens and perhaps even a few of the automatons down to make sure that doesn't happen again. But, disgusting, making the product outside. If Sandoval knew, I mean, even someone from the court, if they knew, they would be disgusted. Disgusted.
Well, I myself am feeling slightly nauseous at the thought. Well, I'm so glad we never had this conversation. It's given me much to not think about. And she winks at him.
Just as he's about to reply, he pauses for a moment. Coin flow. There's a... takes another clean piece of parchment, scribbles an address down and slides it over the table towards you. There's a small store, warehouse, operation in coin flow that it was delivered to.
Reza picks up the paper without looking at it and holds it back over her shoulder for someone else to take.
Cypher will take it and slide it in his inside pocket.
Perfect.
Good. Well, with that little... It's funny how a little bit of gossip can brighten the mood. So I've got you down for 5 crates of A grade, and then... sorry, what are we looking at? 20, 25 Bs?
You know what? Now that I know that the Sandoval have been drinking the Bs, I would not want to deprive them of product. I'll stick with the A's.
It's just the 5 crates of A's. That'd be correct?
Yes. Yes.
Marvellous. So that will be approximately... query that... 125 gold coins, or would you like me to put it on Dame Cordaire's account?
No, I think, are you there? And she gestures to Garrett. Do we have that much on us today? I hate keeping track of
my
money.
lady.
Oh, wonderful. Pay the man.
Vanya's gonna give Garrett a smirk.
I reach into my bag of holding and pull out a literal tower of gold coins.
Oh dear. yes, that seems... Oh, actual gold coins here. I was thinking that you would have just produced a bar or two, but... This is appreciated. Nevertheless, thank you. He scoops the coins into a bag of holding, tapping it, thankfully, before placing it back into the inside pocket of his jacket. Is there anything else business-wise you need, or any questions?
I think I have a good understanding of how it all works, and I can send one of my people with the pass to place an order. They wait about 15 to 20 minutes, and it's there to pick up, and
Pretty much.
if needed, yes, and if we don't trust them with coin, we can just have it put on the account, and Dame Cordelia will manage it.
Alternatively, if you wish to open an account of your own, I can do that, but it will require a bit of a down payment just to cover, as a buffer as such. No offence meant, of course, my lady. It's just as a security measure.
Oh, of course, I understand. I'll have a thought on it.
Oh, well, the down payment's only just a meager 1,000 gold coins, or equivalent in bars or jewellery.
Oh, you take jewellery as well. How convenient.
Or, again, if perhaps a premises or something of equal value, as long as we have something that, should... I mean, you're obviously part of Volpescu, so it'll never, ever happen, but should there ever be any issues, we have some form of compensation to offer the individuals who donate to our food supply.
Oh, that's a question. What is the screening process for the donators?
Oh, the screening progress. So, obviously, as you are well aware, most people inside the city have permits in regards to their residential status, depending on which district they're from, be it Forlorn, Magister, Lantern, so on and so forth. That's the first part. We bring them in. They then get separated off into a different room, sure, where they are inoculated against the usual diseases. Once that process is done, after about 2 weeks, they return. From there, we have a few... Roll me a persuasion check, please, Reza.
Okay.
Because your conversation...
She's
There you go.
She's leaning in, kind of like giving him the eyes.
So you've been relatively cordial and quite friendly with him. You've got a bit of a rapport starting to build. And I shouldn't really say it, but again, we're all part of the same household. There's a few interesting pieces of apparatus that are very old, that we use, divine magics, very rarely seen for, well, as long as I can remember. That purges all diseases, any pestilence or other unpleasantries in the blood, and then from there we extract an amount depending on how much the person wishes. So typically those from Magister, we don't get a lot of it because, well, most of them have money, they have status. Perhaps they want to go out on a long weekend's bender and get drunk, so they come, they get a good amount of coin, let's say 20, 30 gold coins for their a couple of vials donation, and that's the spending money for a good old weekend partying. Those in the Forlorn, in Lantern for that matter, a little different. Typically, they come, they will donate to, obviously, the B grade. Some of them, if they're desperate, we're talking, a good 3-4 pints, they're usually rather pale and almost close to death by the end of it, but still, we pay them for their services and send them on their way. But, yes, everything goes through I wish to say a proprietary service, but...
Well, I mean, I don't need to get your trade secrets, dear, don't worry. But that is very fascinating to know, and just confirms my opinion that this is the best product in the city.
Oh,
Reza's gonna hear a in her head.
Yes, Vanya, mentally.
Ask them if there's age requirements.
Now, this may sound an old question, but are there, well, do you ever, like, take children as
Oh, if-
donators?
if their parents offer them to us, of course.
Interesting.
Special blend, milady.
We don't tend to sell much of it, as not many are offered, but for some of the younger individuals, there is a budding market. There are a few from the houses, typically Moretti, who request that. Obviously, they pay more for it, but yes.
Oh. And Reza will say mentally to Vanya, do you want me to ask anything else about this?
Could you go ahead and purchase a couple of bottles, please?
You know, I have to say, I'm intrigued. Could we purchase just 2 bottles, not full crates, just 2 bottles of that?
Maybe not two, as at the moment there is a bit of an order going out, but I am sure one will find their way into the crate that's currently being sorted.
Wonderful. Well, you have been an incredible host, and I do not wish to take up more of your time. So should we continue to wait here, or is there a waiting area?
Oh, no. This is a much nicer place to wait. I mean, there is a waiting area for most of the labourers who swing by, but for someone such as yourself, please use my office for the moment.
Oh,
I'll send
lovely.
someone in to let you know when the product is ready for collection.
Perfect. Thank you so much, darling.
With a bow, you are all left in the room. And at that moment, I think we will take a quick pee break.
Oh.
A quick refill o'clock.
Burp.
It's not BRB. I need to set a BRB command. I know. Alright, I'm going to go and fill up on the drink. I will be but a moment. So yeah, apologies for the interruption with the cat. Completely screwing my train of thought. Won't be a second. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. So, you just told us that they have something or someone that can use divine magic to purify people, yeah?
Maybe not someone, but something.
Something. Okay.
You've already seen something similar, if you remember. The object that scorched the vampire was casting a sunlight spell, which is also divine magics.
Okay.
Giving the impression that, there's a few relics knocking around in the upper parts of the city.
That's what happens when you leave a lich alone. He fucking forgets where he's put everything. Fucking vampires pick them up fucking thousands of years later. Son of a bitch.
Uh-huh. All right.
Quick question. Other. Oh yeah, they are working. Sorry.
What's
For a
that?
second there, it looked like the talkie talks weren't working.
Oh, there.
It was just lag. Don't mind me.
That's fine. Yeah, there's a 10-second delay, I think, on Twitch.
Yeah.
I'd start in 3 minutes. Son of a bitch!
Well, we'll just sit here for
The
a few minutes then.
Yeah. So, apart from me getting a claw in the leg for the good portion of that, for someone trying to get attention, any thoughts or comments on the Bloodworks in general? Anything that I've missed that may need a little bit more of an expansion on?
No, it all makes pretty much sense. I'm guessing they use magic to store it though, so it doesn't curdle and go yucky do.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about storage time.
But I was waiting to see the product itself in its bottle because I'm guessing the bottles themselves are
Yeah.
magically inscribed.
Yeah. Yes, that will certainly be answered when you've got the product in front of you.
Okay.
All right. With that then, sod it. Snooze those adverts for 5 minutes. Since we're back, you're all left alone in the office for a good 10 minutes. Giving you a chance to think over what's just been said, slipped out or pried out from the gossip regarding the court. Anything tickle anyone's investigatory taste buds?
Yeah, all of it. I have a piece of paper in my breast pocket that
Mm-hmm.
next on the list to do.
Mm-hmm.
Thundervale's are poor as shit.
Yup.
Dorian, something that interests you, perhaps?
In all this, Dorian's just kind of been tagging along, and there's nothing really occurs to him that he's looking for besides. It's good to know that Sandoval is just basically on its last legs by all accounts.
Excellent.
And that the Count is not drinking from the Bloodworks. Allegedly.
Mm.
Could it be, and maybe we'll find this out later, but since they are so poor and desperate, that they're being manipulated?
Who knows?
See, what comes to my mind is if the Count himself isn't ordering blood, is the Count himself still able to drink?
Yeah.
Garrett, do you mind just turning yourself up just a touch more, if you don't mind, my dude?
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you. There we go. Yeah, it's... That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Mm-hmm. When was he last seen in public?
Mm-hmm.
We should have asked that. Probably about 7 months ago, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Reza needs to continue to massage this relationship and keep it going.
Yeah, I think though that now we know there might be something weird about the Count that we could probably find out when his last public appearance was from other sources.
Yeah, I'll let a dim call there to get official. Like, when was the last scene?
Mm-hmm.
And will he be at the masquerade ball?
Hmm.
Well, being that we're supposed to be snuffing them out, hopefully not.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 10 minutes pass by, and eventually there's a light rasp on the door as a porter makes his way in, offers a respectful nod to the group. Your delivery, or should I say your purchases are ready for collection. Do you wish for us to deliver them ourselves, or do you have alternative measures or means to do so?
We have alternative measures, thank you.
Very well. Where would you like them putting? Leaving on the counter, or do you have a wagon outside, or something of the other?
You there, and Reza points to Dorian at the back. And go collect them, please.
How big are these crates?
Roughly, I would say 2 foot by 2 foot, and probably almost a foot tall. 24 bottles.
Bag of holding it is.
I mean, yeah. Dorian will see if he can put the crates directly into the bag of holding, or if not, then he'll figure something out. They are kind of large.
Yeah. The crates won't fit in the bag of holding, but you could, one by one, just stuff them in there.
Yeah, he'll put them in one by one then.
There's a clerk at the desk who's just watching you just pick up a vial of blood, put it in a bag, another vial of blood, bag, vial, bag. And after the third crate, there is a visible vein starting to bulge on his forehead.
Slow down. This is funnier this year.
Oh my, I lost count. I'll have to do it again, won't I?
I'm sure that you... Very well, sir.
1, 2,
Just start taking
3.
it back out again.
4.
No, he just says it and keeps going. It's our time, too.
Your lady's patronage is very much appreciated.
Yep, so Dorian will get that and then start heading.
Excellent. So yeah, you get the impression that for some of the lower nobles, they typically send people to come place an order, collect it, take it out, whereas those from the houses, a shipment would no doubt be sent straight up into High Seat District.
And they
Yeah.
probably would not. There'd probably be some kind of suspicion raised that bottles getting delivered to the slums because they have been dogging on the slums this entire time.
Yeah. All right. So with vials of blood of the A grade, which is not the top end, but it's what the upper echelons of society would drink, stashed. My guess now is that you would all start to make your way back towards the Shadow Circle and home.
Potentially with a stopping coin flow.
Alright.
Yeah, could we stop
Yeah,
by
yeah,
the
of course you can.
Merchants Guild?
You want to stop to the actual Merchants Guild? Holy shit, okay.
Yeah.
With product stashed, the group depart the Bloodworks.
And once we're far enough away, like as they leave, Reza will be leading them out, like she's the one in charge. But once they're kind of like far enough away, she'll kind of like fall back and defer to Garrett or Dorian to lead the way again.
Dorian's going to. Did someone say that they want to visit the Merchants Guild?
Cypher, I'll pull out the piece of paper from his coat once or away and he'll be like, Dorian, do you know where the Merchants Guild is? You said you...
I do, actually. It's in the northeast of the coin flow. We can swing by on the way if we need to.
Yes, I want any and all information on this location. And he's going to hold it up for the group to see. I want to know who owns it. I want to know who runs it. And let's put a little bit of fear of the court into the guild, shall we? And he pins his badge on his chest.
Oh, might as well then.
Right, Cypher, it's your tune. Thank you all for playing along in there. I think it went quite well.
Oh yes, milady, it was fantastic.
Shut up.
Dorian.
Hmm.
May I borrow
Yes.
Sal?
Sal? He's back at the...
I
Well, you
mean,
know
what-
where he is, so yes, he's... I don't really own him. He's... like a bit like a pet with his own room down there, practically.
I mean, like when we get back, I have a job for him.
Really?
I'll pay him.
You pay Sal?
You'll pay...
So you can
Well-
buy him nicer things.
Actually, that is a quite an idea. Now that we know that there are some interesting looking things in Majesty District, maybe there's some kind of... Well, we'll have to take a look and see if they have a toy store or something up there next time we're there.
Yes, we'll just swing by the Ooze toy store.
Well, I was thinking more like, like for children's play sets. I think you could enjoy that.
Like a dollhouse? Something like that?
Something along those lines, yes. Something for enrichment for the ooze, I guess. He does actually do quite a bit if you think about it, pumping out concoctions and potions so we don't have to take our chances swallowing things the botanist makes.
I mean, he's very intelligent.
Also, Cypher,
What?
these bottles
Hmm?
that this came in, can you make more?
I don't know yet. We'll have to check when I get back. I got a brief look at them, but possibly, with enough time and effort. Although we might need Garrett to do the inscriptions because I don't know how to engrave glass.
Carefully.
All right. And while we're walking and talking, Dorian's going to kind of lead them towards where the Merchants Guild is.
Okay. Making your way out of the Bloodworks, this time, the quicker way will be through the Lantern District. Here is where you would get your first taste of what the Lantern District looks like, outside of the small bit that you pass through heading north into the Temple District. Lanterns, probably similar to coin flow. The only difference being that instead of there being stalls and shops lining the streets, here there are multi-story residential buildings. Condominiums. Not small, cramped places like you've seen in Commons or lower streets. Each building, vast in size, you imagine that each floor probably only houses 1, maybe 2 apartments.
Medieval condos.
Medieval condos. But we're talking anywhere from 4 to 8 stories high. Each one ending in the stereotypical pointed spires and Gothic architecture. Here, lanterns line the streets. There isn't a single alley in Lantern District that is dark. The district certainly lives up to its name in that it is illuminated throughout. Trying to move in the shadows here would be problematic, unless of course you went high up and started jumping from roof to roof. But of course that brings its own trials and tribulations should one lose their footing and fall. With that though, there would be the shouts and roars that echo through the Lantern District from further down in the direction of the pit. Just, come on, Yask. You've been a real pain tonight, mate.
Gonna put you in the fucking pit, Yask.
He has been a real creature today. So yeah, you would hear the shouts and calls of the large crowds in the pit. It seems tonight is, or today for that matter, there is some spectacle going on. But your attention is elsewhere, back towards the coin flow. So making your way through the wide open streets of Lantern, you eventually reach the Silver Canal Pass, making your way over the bridge before eventually returning to Coinflow District. And here, the Merchants Guild's their main headquarters, their main building, you can't miss it. Grand is perhaps a bit of an understatement. Whilst it's not laden in gold, there are certainly elements of it. A few gargoyles, statues that are perhaps made of brass. The spires themselves, instead of them being slate tiles that cover the spires, they are hammered copper and brass. The doors to the Merchant Guild's headquarters is very similar to that of the Bloodworks. Heavy wood and brass etchings throughout. And here, the plethora of Merchant Guild guards stand ever watchful, each of them giving you a brief look as you step into the Central Chamber of Commerce. Here, a man in a familiar-looking yellow robe steps up to greet you all with a bow of the head. Welcome to the Merchant Guild. May I help you with any inquiries today?
Yes. We require information on this location.
Taken aback a bit, he'll look towards you, Cypher, and then towards the rest of the group with an arched brow, quite inquisitive. Sorry, good sir, but that's not information that is freely given.
Not freely given. And why is that, then?
He'll recoil at you, Dorian, as you step forward. I am under no obligation to hand out details pertaining stores and...
Well, perhaps Director Farida would be more compliant than... We did recently help her out of a pickle. Is she available?
Director Farida. May I ask who is... I can send a message to her office. May I ask who requires her attendance?
The brewmaster.
Very well. Please, he motions towards a set of chairs off to the side of the chamber. Here, it's not just chairs, it's leather sofas with a few coffee tables scattered around. Please take a seat. I will have someone offer refreshments whilst
Quickly.
Yes, of course. The man just, like a rat, scarpers off down to the far end of the commerce chamber.
Apologies for interfering. I just thought it might be best to cut to the chase.
I mean, I don't mind it either way. Garrett, you okay with this?
Well, I don't think I need to hide who I am now.
No, I don't think so either.
I won't offer the information, but
Well,
we've got bigger friends these days.
yes, well, I really just said that to get her attention. I knew she would make an appearance with that name, but anyway.
Thing is, I am just my lady's servant, and I'll be in the background.
Oh, shut up. Reza kind of like sits down in the chair, pulls her hood over her face, and like huffs.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Last time you met Farida Garrett, you had a disguise on.
Yeah,
Your face was covered. Okay.
I don't think she'd recognize anybody, right?
She wouldn't. Correct.
Yeah.
She wouldn't recognize anyone.
Yes, Cypher's
Oh.
face
Only-
was melted off. Reza was covered. Dorian was in plate mail.
The difference being, Dorian's quite an imposing character.
That's fair. That's fair.
We just go on, Dorian.
And
You were
she's
gonna...
also she is very much aware of who Charlton Hestwood is, though, because they've had conversations at the office, and she'll recognize him, and she might put 2 and 2 together a little bit there.
Yes.
But at this point, that might very well work in their favor, and yeah, well, we'll see how it goes.
See how it goes. Doesn't take long. As the little rat bastard scarpers off to deliver the message, eventually, at the far end of the commerce chamber, you would hear the 2 heavy doors slam open as a yellow-robed woman begins to hastily stride down the center of the chamber, eyes darting left to right, looking, scanning the room. The man next to her, the clerk from before, points in your direction, and Farida just begins to immediately storm towards you all. As she gets closer, her eyes darting over each of the party gathered, they would stop on you, Dorian. The wide-eyed look of recognition crossing her face.
Dorian's going to get to basically the front of the assembly that she's approaching. And he's happy to let her walk all the way over to them to talk, though.
The man motions and then bows her head towards Farida as she whispers some words to him, and he takes a few steps back. Farida approaches. Well, pleasant afternoon to you all. rare for the brewmaster to make an appearance here, along with... And she'll look you up and down, Dorian. A good friend from Lower Street's office.
Yes, I haven't seen you there in a number of days.
Quite. After a unfortunate event out in the streets. Well, it's all starting to make a little bit of sense now. A man in plate armor, roughly your size, with the help of the brewmaster, pulled me out of a somewhat tricky situation.
Yes. And of course, you know exactly who tried to do what they tried at that time. I'd say it's rather obvious.
This place, this Chamber of Commerce, is certainly not the locale for this type of conversation, so if you would all follow me, we'll go to someplace a little more covert for these talks, yes? Don't worry, I'm not going to send out some guards or assassins.
Quite.
Yes, you really can't afford to lose more people.
Looking over you, Reza, there's a slight click of her tongue in disapproval before she spins on her heel and begins to walk back in the direction she came, towards the double doors at the end of the commerce chamber. Hopefully with you all in tow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reza's fault.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
We'll follow.
So,
Can't help it, can you?
so whilst you're all currently walking... Go on. What was
No.
that? No?
I'm being quiet.
Okay. So with you all making your way down the commerce chamber, several of the guards would be looking at you with quizzical expressions, some hands on swords, seeing that Director Farida's just took a... I wouldn't say an immediate dislike, but she's certainly on edge, and it shows. But yeah, you make your way down the chamber, Farida taking the lead. And at that moment in time, I'm going to say, Ock Raven, thank you very much for that raid. Welcome in, raiders. Welcome in. I hope your session went well, my dude. I hope it went well. Culture Nerd, Zenpunk Red, Depleted Uranium, and Canis Hound. If I butchered it, I apologise. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. How was your Cyberpunk game? Love the maps. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, we just, rather than giving the full spiel, I do have that. Welcome to our Dark Gothic fantasy campaign that we're currently on, like, episode 70. What's this, 12? 73? But yeah, that's what we do. Okay, so to bring us back in, again, thank you for joining us all. Farida leads you into a long set of corridors at the depths, the bowels of the Merchant Guild's headquarters. Here you would take a few turns left and right before eventually ascending some stairs up onto the second, third, fourth floor. She comes to a stop outside of an office as she opens the door and ushers you all in. This place is much better for our conversations and what's to be discussed.
Is a room warded, is it?
Roll me an Arcana check. 16. There is a brief moment, Cypher, where just as you're about to step through the door, there is a all too familiar sensation. First is that, even Vanya, you would feel this as well. Reza? In fact, probably all of you would. The first being... This is a warded room. The second... An anti-magic field.
Huh.
Hmm.
Not taking chances, is she? Cypher feels it, stops, and he's like... puts his hood up and stands in the darkest corner.
Yes, we're apologies for my poor jest in the lobby. We're really just here for some information.
Well, I assumed it'd either be that or some sort of compensation for what occurred outside the city walls. Please, take a seat. Is your companion all right, by the way? She looks towards Cypher.
Yes, it's fine. It's just it's a bit tingly in here, and he's not a fan of tingly.
I see. I understand precautions must be taken, and this is one of our more secure locations for discussions. I can disable the anti-magics in this place if required.
I think you can live with it for a few minutes. Cypher, you let us know if you're imminently about to perish, yes?
Cypher swears at you in Abyssal.
Well, that was uncalled for.
Quite.
Oh shit, Dorian knows Abyssal now. Fuck!
So, apart from coming here to offer verbal jibes at me, what do you want?
A bit of paper, yes? And Dorian's going to look over at Cypher.
Cypher, pull it out, stuff it in Dorian's hand, and then shuffle back to his dark corner.
And Dorian will approach Farida. Hands in the open. He's making sure that she knows that he's not going to try to murder her or anything like that. Although, this would be the perfect time to do that.
Granted, you're on the fourth floor. There's a lot of guards, but...
I mean, well, that just makes it easier to kill her. I can stuff her out a window, and if that's 4 stories of fall. Yes. And he's going to just hold the paper up with the address. Does this ring any bells?
Frida will take the piece of parchment and glance over it. Judging by the... is this not close to the grave gate?
Oh. Well, that would be something that you would know more of. But makes sense.
Yes, it's I don't know immediately off the top of my head who owns the premises, but we've sold roughly 2 premises close to the grave gate in the last couple of weeks, I dare say. Maybe a little longer. I'm not sure exactly on the time frame, but a buyer from Sandoval paid quite the price for it.
Really? The penniless Sandovals are buying properties from you, eh?
Well, this was part of the, and she looks towards you, Dorian. One of the reasons why we were investigating a few things in lower streets. And the fact that our good friend Philippe was there made me want to dig a little deeper into it. So, it sounds to me like we have a common... Whilst I'm not happy to say enemy, a common problem that we both wished to not be there, yes?
Well, there's more supporting that than you may be aware of. This address came up while, did you know that one of the members of the clan that backs this guild was executed the other day?
Farida shakes her head. Can't say I'm aware, sadly. News, I'll be rather frank with you all. I don't tend to take much notice or care of what the toffs in the upper city do. I have my hands full managing this place and all the other little rodents that scurry around, trying to take a bite out of our pie of coin.
Well, that would be relevant to this then. See, it seems that someone ran up a tab under that individual's name, buying goods, let's say, for Sandoval members, and this address is tied up in that. So after buying a property that they should not by any rights have been equipped to purchase from you, they ran up another tab, and that cost, in a way, cost the Merchant Guild even more than it knows. So, though you've removed yourself a little ways from Van Ryson and his ilk, I don't think that in the long term you're safe from them if you remain. So best quash it before it gets to that point.
So you're saying Van Ryson and his goons have a foothold in the coin flow already?
And Dorian's going to look around at everybody, else. Seems that might be the case. Which is why we came to you to ask about this.
So, hypothetically, let's say that the Sandovals who have purchased these are tied into Philippe and his Doctore and Van Ryson. What do you want us to do about it? If the paperwork has been cleared and they are paying, then the higher-ups, at least, well, they don't care as long as money is flowing into their pockets, into their coin purse.
They'll care when we've got proof and you have 3 Inquisitors and an army of Wardens storming the area. Is that clear enough for you?
Well, there's that, and is it really profit if the coin changes hand from your left hand to your right hand? If they're paying you back with your own ill-gotten gains gained from you, then you're not gaining. You're only losing in that trade.
Roll me either an intimidation or a persuasion with advantage. Both work. Cypher's comments pretty intimidating. Your comments are pretty persuasive.
Okay, well, here's hoping that the dice don't decide to screw me today.
A 26 on a persuasion? Safe. I could roll both, but I think that the outcome, they're working together. So, regardless though, 26, solid. Farida begins to slowly nod. You certainly have a point, and again, the last thing we want here in Coinflow is the Wardens to be involved, and I do have a little information on what the Doctore have been up to, which I am happy to share with you.
Well, that would be helpful.
Farida leans back in her chair and looks over towards you, Dorian. So, it seems that they've been trying to win the hearts and minds of a few people in the Dirktown slums. A lot of the smaller groups there have banded under the Doctore, mostly from them being offered food, water. But we have noticed that some of the more influential members of the gangs, the leaders, have gone from scrawny little ingrates to almost fanatical, buffed, brutish in nature. Now, we know the Doctore have been... their history outside of Novostoya has been with experimentation, so we know that they're doing something with the local populace. What exactly we don't know, but... not good. Now, if they do have warehouses here, and you say they've ordered something from within the city... She looks around the group.
Seems that way.
Something very valuable to the court.
Then I dare say, what's the... where does it intersect if they're importing things from within the city with some rabid experiments that they're perhaps conducting over in the Dirktown? Doesn't bode well.
Can't very well have experimentation without subjects, right? And Dorian saying that, thinking about back to Marmstown and the outcasts there, that and how that all went for them. Well, where this all ends is I think that it's best for all of us, the faster that the infection is cut out of the slums before it starts spreading out of control.
So what I'm getting from this conversation is you want me to do something about the Sandoval in coin flow.
Well, I think that it would be in your best interest to make sure that you are aware and apprised of anything that they might have going on here, and perhaps put as many roadblocks in the way of them gaining any kind of progress. And we can perhaps take care of seeing to the problem outside the walls. And of course, you being a respected director of the Merchant Guild, you can offer your expert opinion on anything that's happened or has happened after the fact, based on what you know and what you have seen. I'd say that them trying to take your life is pretty damning in and of itself.
Well, it's unfortunate for our friends who own the warehouse because it seems that their lease has been terminated. I am sure that whatever goods are in that warehouse will be removed before the day is done. Consider this a payment towards... Oh, she's just that guy. She's just about to say, consider that a payment towards you, Brewmaster, as she looks towards Cypher in the corner.
Cypher, oh nice, okay.
And out of interest, What is the price of the lease on that warehouse?
Were you? Are you being open now as to who you may be, Garrett?
I disguised my voice last time, if you
did.
remember.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking.
No, I'm speaking with Garrett's voice at the moment.
Okay. Farida will look towards you. I'm sure that due to the fact that it was used for rather ill-reputed and perhaps even devious wares, that the price would be lowered. On the condition, of course, that the place these goods are being sent to outside of the city is dealt with, then I'm sure there would be a very favourable contract available for that place at a reduced rate.
Well, in that case, we will take it.
Her eyes go wide as that voice immediately rings a bell, and she knows who you are, Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
Very well, Brewmaster. I look forward to a hopefully pleasant endeavour between the Merchant Guild and your budding business.
Indeed, and I would like the flow of my product to reach far and wide in the city.
She motioned a hand towards your chest, Garrett, towards where the pin of Houseful Pescu is.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd have said that you were members of the Vulpescus sooner, well, perhaps things may have been differently, but fear not, all future endeavours regarding Bloodshot will be swept under the carpet. I will make sure the other directors are aware that this is a matter for Houseful Pescu and that we are not to interfere. Though again, allow me to reiterate, if you'd have shown me that much earlier, perhaps we wouldn't be in this situation we're in now.
Yes, sadly, but then we wouldn't have found out about our masked adversaries.
She just nods.
Cypher snorts and in the corner in a bit so goes, "Welcome to the great game."
Marissa chuckles.
So, I will send a courier along with armed guards to make sure that the place is vacated by the day's end. That will cut off this side at least, and, well, I dare say I wish you all good hunting in Dirktown?
Yes. Just a thought. When you send people to check up on the warehouses, if there is that matter of receipts, and if things don't match up with who's there saying, there's some way with paperwork that'd be damning if you need something to show for it. I imagine that there's a Moretti or two that isn't very pleased that they've lost one of theirs.
Why, I'm sure if anything comes up, it will be handed to the relevant parties for them to deal with.
Very well.
With that said, though, I don't exactly see this as a fair exchange for what you all did for me back in Malmstown, so is there any other services the Merchant Guild offers that I can be of assistance with?
Reza raises a hand.
She'll nod towards you.
I would like to acquire a certain property tucked away in a corner side street. And she gives her the address of the property she's had her eye on.
She'll take the address, look at it. Is this property owned already or vacant?
It doesn't seem to have a a placard in front of it, but I'm interested in leasing it for one of my own ventures, if it is available, of course.
Farida will quickly take a quill pen, scribble down a few notes, and then hand you back the original piece that you handed to her, as well as this other note that reads, see, this ownership is transferred to the current holder with Farida's signature underneath.
Thank you so much.
Hand this to one of the clerks down in the commerce chamber and they will make sure it is done.
Excellent. Thank you.
Anything else? I would rather not have this debt linger over my head any longer.
Vanya?
She's thinking. May I get back to you? I know you don't want it hanging over, but...
Yeah, I've literally just said I don't want this debt hanging over my head anymore. And anything else? Brewmaster, is there anything you wish at all?
All I'm interested in is the warehouse.
It goes without saying, the warehouse, the Bloodshot will no longer be hounded and freely allowed to pass by both land and water through coin flow.
Marvellous.
Go on.
And with the location of the warehouse, you know where to come if you require.
Oh, you're offering to sell the Bloodshot to the Merchant Guild?
Yes, I can sell you some for export.
Her hands are wringing together like a cat that got the cream, and she just begins to nod furiously. I see. Well.
But you are my contact. No one else.
I appreciate it. Good. Done.
I've thought on it. Licensing for my programs. To be able to conduct my programs.
You wish to allow yourself into CoinFlow, but you already have that.
No, I want my business of changing lives to operate in CoinFlow.
Of course, I don't know what exactly your business entails, but I can offer you a few passes for your employees to come and go from CoinFlow as they please. Is that what you're wanting, or?
No, a business license.
Oh, you wish to open it? I see.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, I consider it done. You have permission to open a business here in CoinFlow. And she'll quickly sign. So go on, Reza.
Nothing.
Yeah, she will quickly begin to offer a piece of parchment towards you, Vanya, that states the holder of this permit is granted permission to establish a business within CoinFlow District. Signed, Director Farida, and then underneath is just a line for you to sign your name.
Now I can practice wherever, right? Within the CoinFlow, wherever I wish to set up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Though, as long as it doesn't interfere with others, if we start getting complaints from people, then obviously we'll have to be mediated and so on and so forth. But as a businesswoman, I'm sure you understand.
Oh, I'm sure they won't complain.
Foreshadowing.
What have we done? What have we done?
All right.
Cypher's gonna saddle up to Garrett. He's gonna like crab walk awkwardly to Garrett, and then Garrett's ear is gonna whisper in Silver, and he's be like, "What about water transport from the casting docks so we can import directly into Moretti territory for the good? And a boat. Don't forget a boat. We need a boat to do that."
The Castian docks.
I mean, we can't use their docks, right? They cost a fortune.
Yeah. My colleague wants to inquire about a place on the Castian docks.
If you can secure, I believe most of the warehouses are currently leased out on the Carstein docks, but if you can acquire a warehouse, then I'd be more than happy to provide permits for docking privileges.
Mm-hmm. And we will also require a boat, barge, or whatever it is to transport goods.
Oh, you're asking for a lot. I can't give you a barge, but I can.
But
certainly...
you can put me in contact with someone that can.
She grins and nods. Yes, that I can. Most warehouses have an attached dock already, so you own the warehouse, you own the pier that's attached to it. I can put you in contact with someone who can provide a vessel for transportation.
Fantastic.
About a carriage.
We don't need a carriage, Vanya.
Oh, I need a carriage.
And you can buy one on your own.
enough.
Sorry.
Let's see. That's where you missed the mark. You should have thought of that before you got your business license.
Well, no, I need the business license, but what if I need to transport my goods?
It sounds like a problem for your business.
But she said I could ask for anything.
Welcome to being
I
a
want.
businesswoman.
And I do believe our business was concluded upon me handing you your business permit.
Oh, we can't get multiple things?
And that would be
Just
like,
being greedy now, Vanya. Come on.
Fine, I will figure out how to get my own carriage. Thank you for my business lessons.
unless you wish to owe me a debt, then I can certainly grant you your carriage.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Trust me,
sure?
you don't want to associate with her longer than you absolutely have to.
Reza,
Right.
I already said no thank you.
I have some of the finest carriages this side of High Street District that I could put into your ownership.
No, I think I might be able to try my hand at building something or asking some of my friends, and she looks around, to lend a hand. I'll figure it out.
Look at the time.
Well, I do think that that's enough of... Yes, good point. I think that that's enough of your time taken. And I think that should be business concluded. And after all, there's so much to be done yet.
Farida extends a hand over the desk towards you, Garrett. And with this, I would hope to assume that whatever debts were perhaps incurred have now been paid in full on both sides.
Indeed. And as a parting gift, I reach into my pouch, slip my hand into the bag of holding, and pull out a bottle of Bloodshot. For when you finish work today.
She takes it with a thankful nod, shakes your hand. Good. Well, with that, may I say that the Merchant Guild very much looks forward to a future a future business partnership with the Brewmaster and Associates, and I'm sure that if the Doctore has any dealings in coin flow, they won't by the night's end.
Perfect.
Looking forward to business as usual then.
Farida from there will lead you all back down the several flights of stairs from the 4th floor of the Merchant Guild's headquarters back towards the Commerce Chamber. Here, you would all get the chance to hand in the various slips of paper for your business license and for the storefront. Takes... go on then. Reza, Vanya. Both of you roll me a d6, if you'll be so kind. I was hoping for bigger numbers. The Merchant Guild aren't known for their promptness at dealing with things. It's a merchant's bureaucracy, an absolute nightmare of paperwork. Vanya, it's going to take at least 2 hours for them to get your paperwork sorted. Reza, it's going to be 3 for you. It seems that the deeds to the store have been misplaced. And the go on, Reza.
Reza will glare at the clerk and occasionally polish her House Vulpescu pin to encourage them to work faster.
So for you, it takes 3 hours. Vanya, as for you, the reason it takes so long is that the clerk who's been assigned to your business proposition just doesn't understand what sort of business you're wanting to run. And it takes 2 hours for both of you to nail down the contract of, you know, what your business is, who's going to be coming, who's going to be going, what you're selling or not selling, what the program is. I dare say, maybe even you put him in the program?
Yes, I would say, like, she's not irritated at all because she spends the 2 hours, like, completely ecstatic talking about her business and also just, you know, going into all of the program details with the individual that is putting the paperwork together. If anything, she wishes she had more time.
Roll me a persuasion check, if you would be so kind.
I'm gonna say that it takes Reza's 3 hours, even with her glaring, because her clerk keeps getting distracted by Vanya's pitch.
Okay, in that case, Vanya, roll me a second persuasion check, please.
Sweet. The more the merrier.
All right.
Oh, they're too far up.
I scare him away from it.
Yeah. The clerk dealing with Reza occasionally keeps trying to lean in, but eventually it turns to him trying to talk to you. Reza's like, what is she on about? It's mad. Look, Colt over there, he's well and truly involved in it. Look, he's lapping it up. You, Vanya, now have an ardent follower by the name of Colt Lane, clerk in the Merchants Guild.
Reza's gonna say to her clerk, if Colt jumped off a bridge, would you follow him?
No.
Right, back to work.
Sorry, milady. I apologised. Please don't send me up to the court. Don't get the Inquisition in here, whatever you do.
I'm thinking about it. Hurry up.
But I don't know where the paperwork's gone. Janice! Janice! You're not busy! And he starts grabbing a couple of the clerks as they dive into the various files and cabinets at the back of the office looking for the paperwork for the deed to the store.
I don't know why, but Janice just tickled me.
Vanya just wants to say, as she's leaving from her 2 hours, and because Reza's still there, you're just going to hear her, waving bye to Colt and say, "Your attitude determines your altitude. Aim high and soar. Thank you, my friend." And walks off.
I look forward to you opening. I'll be there. And so the cult expands into coin flow.
I like the fact that cults join the cult.
Wait.
Oh, that's great.
Ah, dear. So, above table, thoughts?
I'm gonna be richer.
Yeah. Like the 125 gold coins, I'm like, dear God. Like,
I
know
just
there's a
sat
lot of
there.
coin.
I just sat there thinking Garrett's going to put a 0 on the end of that and make that into profit.
Yeah, this is a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, we're getting a lot of groundwork going for potentially even later, but kind of highlights we have to deal with the Doctori and the Sandoval sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But now we've essentially got the guild, and by association, the Moretti's on side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Means no outside interference.
And the Sandovals aren't going to know what hit them.
Pull the legs out from under them.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that said then, back home? Is that the...
Yeah.
I think so.
I doubt. Would you guys have waited for us?
Oh no, as soon as Cypher was out of the fucking magic field, he sulked home.
Alright, so I guess Reza gets home last then, muttering at the incompetence of people who push paper all day the whole way.
Well, there's quite a bit about the intricacies of bureaucracy and making as painstaking as possible so you appreciate the process. And, do it as little as possible.
I don't know how anyone could appreciate that process.
I thought Colt was doing a wonderful job.
Yes, but his little friend kept getting distracted.
With that said, adverts are coming up. Shall we pull in the last BRB for the session?
Please.
Yes.
All
Yes,
right.
please. I need
Tea break.
Yeah, me too.
All right, folks. We will be right back. Yeah, for those who joined in the raid earlier, I hope you're enjoying the chaos that is Pariahs. Bureaucracy Simulator Medieval Edition. All right, we'll be right back. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Oh, so we've opened up the option for seaborne adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll have to do a little bit of piracy at some point. Go back to our roots. Yes.
Have we told Telba yet that he's been demoted?
No.
No, he's gonna find out in the most precarious of ways, I reckon.
I'm sure we'll get a pointed answer at some point.
Oh, no.
What's going on?
Telba was relieved of his position
Without him knowing about it.
without him knowing about it.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't turn up to the meeting. He put the court's nose out of joint.
Can those business licenses be forged?
By someone who's good at forgery, absolutely.
Okay. Perfect.
Why? It's official, though.
No, I'm gonna use it as leverage.
I look forward to seeing what you do with it. All right. We're back. We are back.
Yes.
Over the span of a couple of hours, some of you would make it back to the Folly first. A few hours later, others. An hour after that, final person. You're welcome, Reza. Yeah, Garrett, Cypher, Dorian. Any plans on the return to the Folly?
Depends. Is Valentina back? Or is she still out?
She would still be out at this point.
Okay.
Normally when you send Valentina out, she typically goes out for a day or two before coming back. So, if anything, you imagine by the late evening would probably be the earliest you'll hear back from her.
Okay. In which case, Cypher is in his sanctum, and he's collected a pile of shiny gems.
In your sanctum? Alright.
Mm.
Down below the Baron's Folly, deep underground. In Cypher's sanctum. What are you doing with these gems, good sir?
Well, we saw something similar to this being used as a power source, and Cypher's like, really? Okay. So now, anywhere that's not lived in, i.e., Rez's room, Vanya's room, Cypher's sanctum, and the road to them,
Yeah.
Cypher's going around collecting every single fucking one of these fucking wall lights that he can. Stop piling them.
You've got a couple of hours. Roll me a D100.
Oh, shit!
There's a lot of lanterns.
Oh, 76! Nice!
Fuck a dog.
So, you've basically collected all of the fucking lantern lights. all of the glowstones.
Looks like a raven here.
The sanctum itself's glowing, and the rest of the undercroft, not so much. Oh, sorry, the depths below it's pitch black, apart from the places that you mentioned. So yeah,
so
this mountain.
This power come from these because like they've been a light source for thousands of years, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you wanting to do a little bit more digging into what these things actually are then? Since
yes, I am.
Before we've just taken them for granted as little glowstones that
Yeah, little novel glowstones that light shit instead of fucking whale oil.
Yeah. Roll me an Arcana check, please, Cypher. 14. Respectable. Upon gathering this many, individually on their own, you can't really tell what they're made of, but with 76 of the damn things in this giant pile, casting an almost blinding light in the sanctum, it feels very similar to the magics used by the coroner and by your obelisk. It feels very similar to the crystallized souls.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay, Cypher's gonna try and merge every crystal he has here into a crystallized soul. Like one crystallized soul.
Oh no. Okay. Before you do that, we've got a raid. Well, welcome in. Welcome to the madness. In fact, did that shout? It did do a shout out. Everyone, thank you to ELH for the raid, as always. It is appreciated. I managed to sneak in your stream the other day, which was nice. A rarity, if I may say so. What have you been up to today? What have you been streaming? With regards, though, Cypher, to what you're about to do. This is going to require some concentration, some effort. What level spell slot are you going to burn to do this?
Right. So here's what Cypher's gonna do. Cypher's gonna make a big pile of crystals, use his newly acquired lantern, light it, and shine it on them.
Before you carry on, as the lantern... throw the lantern up in chat. What is this lantern?
The Lantern of Ethereal Sight. Basically, it allows me to see anything that the light touches. Shines a big 60-foot cone, which is a big old cone of light into the ethereal realm. So there's a big cone of light into the ethereal realm pointed at these essentially crystallized souls.
It's no longer a pile of crystallized souls. It's a pile of faces of hands grasping from within these small gems, trying to break out, trying to reach tortured souls contained. Their essence being burnt through to provide illumination. Each one of these crystals is, or perhaps at one point was, a soul that for the last few thousand years has just been slowly burning away just to provide illumination. You can see...
Cyphers.
Yeah.
Smiles to himself, releases his innate sorcery, and then uses a twin spell, as well as his
Holy
focusing
shit.
crystal.
He's going all in.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna fucking make something of this. So that would be at max level with a twin spell and a focus on crystal. This is a 7th level spell. He's going to try and merge the souls into one homogeneous thing, and then draw that into his phylactery.
So first things first. As you begin to reach out and mold these tortured souls together, the sound of breaking glass echoes around the chamber as they all begin to break out of their prison. Roll me an Arcana check to keep them contained.
19.
With an extreme amount of effort on your part, you begin to just force these souls together. Broken pieces pushing against you, but being reforged anew into a single mass, a single entity. 76 souls. Broken souls are eventually forced into a single point, a small blackish blue bead. I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw, please, Cypher. As all of these souls are compressed into this small point, the screams, the cries.
With advantage, because I have Warcaster. So I have advantage on Constitution saving throws.
Absolutely, I'll give you that. Double 18. In spite of this cacophony of ear-bleedingly loud screams emanating as all of these souls are just brought in one by one and crushed, smushed into this singular mass, you don't flinch, you don't bat an eyelid. It's at that moment, with this inch in diameter ball of soul energy, pure magic, the silence descends across the sanctum. The screams no longer cry out whatever pain, anguish that these souls once felt. Gone. Stood before you, a couple of feet away now, Cypher, is this glowing, faintly blue, bluish green ball of compressed soul energy. Now what do you do with it?
Now this is a little bit ahead of schedule to what Cypher was going to do, but he reaches up his hand, makes a fist, so his phylactery is prominent, and he places his phylactery and tries to absorb and enhance his phylactery. He knows the weaknesses of a phylactery, so he's like, make it stronger. Gotta get stronger.
With regards to making it stronger, what's your goal? What is it you're looking for?
I want it to be nigh on undetectable from prying eyes, so like you can't notice its magical eminence. It'll also, I'm hoping, shield Cypher from effects of anti-magic field where it comes to transforming, so just like anti-magic fields don't affect him.
That's
physically.
That's a little too much. But let's do something. Let me just drag you in quick. Roll me a twist of fate.
Do we have a twist of fate anymore?
We,
One, two, yeah.
we should do. Is the icon not there for you?
No, no, it's not. It hasn't been for a while.
Looks like I'm doing it then because I've not set it up properly.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'll let you roll it. Roll me a 1d2. On a 1, crit fail. On a 2, crit success. So, as you begin to draw this purified soul energy into your phylactery, it's at this moment where you weren't too familiar with the surroundings. You were focusing solely on the ring. The souls are drawn in, which will immediately bump your soul charge of your phylactery to maximum.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'll say that your form, there is a slight innate ability for it to push back against anti-magic fields. Not to the point where you can cast spells, but you will be able to retain your form.
Okay.
What was the other thing you were wanting from it?
So that it's undetectable unless,
Undetectable.
unless
Okay.
somebody's like looking for a phylactery, like.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to say that it will take a DC 20. Let's go. DC 22 Arcana check for someone who's knowledgeable in phylacteries to know exactly what it is. If it ever comes up, anyway.
If it ever comes up.
Yeah. But, like all things, there is a price to pay. And the sheer amount of power, this 7th level spell being called upon, power that you're not wholly familiar with, as the ring settles on the ground with a tinkle cipher, as it clatters against the stonework of the sanctum, you would hear as silence descends, this singular creaking noise, as if a crack in glass is starting to form behind you. Roll me a perception check.
Fuck, I know what I've done.
If you know what you've done, say it, and I will tell you whether you're right or not then.
Oh, I've made a breach between the fucking this realm and another realm, haven't I? Something's coming through.
You have maybe not a full breach, but there is a crack starting to form on the obelisk behind you. From the very top, roughly about a foot and a half down from the top of the obelisk, the obsidian's starting to crack. But it stops. The sound pauses. But you would start to hear just behind you, at the corners of the room, the occasional mumbling, the odd wail. But then, nothing.
Once that's on cipher, he'll look at the obelisk and be like, well, it would seem I've already outgrown you, and you may need replacing in the future. Shame. Weary, he'll leave his sanctum and go to Garrett's throne room and pull up a hammock chair for allies and just lie down.
Oh, hello. No. Tired, are we?
It's been a trying day, Garrett. A trying day.
Okay, well, when you're rested, I'd like to talk to you about these bottles that the Bloodworks deal with.
Has Dorian already unpacked them, has he? Of course he has.
Have you, Dorian?
Well, Dorian will have delivered the bottles, basically, and the throne room seems to be the place to like put those kinds of things. Actually, you know what? Point of fact, because obviously Reza and Vanya were there a little bit longer, so Dorian's plan was to stop and check and see if anyone had sent word for him upstairs, and then come down to check on Sal and everything, and that's where he'd end up there. So yeah, he'll drop off the bottles, and honestly, if Garrett hasn't put anything in his bag, we can just swap bags around, and that way he has them all.
It's full of gold and gems and stuff at the moment.
All right, well then we'll have to transplant it, I guess.
Yeah.
Swap the bags.
It takes a while. Go on, Dorian.
Yeah, so Dorian's got like one bag on the left, one bag on the right, and he's just fishing out bottles and plopping them into the other bag. And he'll get through that kind of quick. He got a lot of practice at it at the Bloodworks office. Well, what's that? And he's not really wary of Elias in the throne room, but like there's a distinct unnatural thing, like it's very much like the closest to like the Fey realm you're going to get on this plane of existence as far as he knows, besides like the botanist chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So he tries not to linger too long. Like he has to be there, have a reason to be there. So when he's done, he'll leave.
And there is Elias. His roots seem to recoil away from you, Dorian. There seems to be a mutual feeling from both of you. Whenever Garrett's in the room, Elias moves him around, but whenever you step into the room, any roots that are on the floor just seem to pull back away, letting you walk freely on the cobbles below.
Yeah, so he'll stay away from anything that needs to like stay stationary. He's just, he'll just keep well away and make sure that after he's done, he'll go back and make sure Sal's taken care of and filter through the bottles that Sal's been using and make sure he's taken care of. And that's what he'll be doing for those 2 to 3 hours.
Roll me an animal handling check, quick.
Well, animal handling check.
Yeah. How feisty is Sal today? God, bollocks. I was hoping to have you run around the Undercroft for an hour trying to get Sal back in his vivarium, but no, you easily managed to. Go on.
He's a guest, not a prisoner.
Yeah,
it's fine. But yeah, that's fine. He'll just make sure he's all set and collect the potions to put away.
More potions for the cabinets. Excellent.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, Garrett, you have a bag of holding full of 120. Yeah, 120 pints of grade A townsfolk blood. Tasty.
So it's basically 1 gold per bottle.
Yeah.
It's not terrible.
Just a little more, just over 1 gold. Sorry, go on, Vanya.
Well, Vanya is gonna walk in the room to collect her bottle.
Yes. You had an additional one put in.
One of these is not like the others.
So, yeah, Cypher, you're in the throne room. Vanya, you step in after your 2-hour market sales pitch.
I'm back. Oh,
Hello,
I
back.
see.
I'm Garrett.
Oh, haha. I see that you have the bottles out. Reza had asked for a special bottle, and I am here to collect it. Oh, and Cypher, have you had a chance to look at these bottles to see, like, if you can recreate them?
I have just started. I was preoccupied.
Oh, well, I've been gone for, like, over 2 hours. What have you been doing?
None of your business.
Like, none of my business, but you're still gonna tell me, or none of my business, you're not gonna tell me?
It depends. Are you going to bother me until I tell you, or are you going to go away when I say it's none of your business?
I'm probably still gonna ask you.
Yes, well, I merged some of the crystallized. Turns out the blue gems, crystallized souls, similar to the one I gave you. Do you still have that, by the way?
Yeah, the one in my pocket here. And she pulls it out.
Wonderful. You wouldn't mind if I just take. Thank you.
Well,
Yes, my earlier experiment, though a little, shall we say, over the top. Had a little bit of a hiccup, and then I'm going to need this. Thank you.
what's that? So I'm not getting that back?
I'll make you a new one.
Will you though? Like, if you need those? Anyways, no, that's fine, Cypher. I want to help, right? But I guess you could tell me or make me some of these bottles in return.
The principles are simple. It's a cold spell to keep it chilled, so it doesn't curdle. And a preserving spell. Look, I've drawn the. I've copied the sigils that are on the. That are on the thing. You're going to need.
Make me like 200 of them, maybe.
They're
simple.
The sigils are simple. Have you ever tried doing that on a glass bottle that is circular in nature? No? Oh,
No,
I didn't think
I've put it
so.
on the floor before.
Well, it's different when it's spherical. You have to account for the curvature of the bottle.
Can't you just kind of like lean it or something?
No, it's a level of craftsmanship I am unable to help you with. However,
Wait, help me.
well, I've copied the design. All you need to do is copy this design onto that. Easy, right?
Are you saying you're not going to make them for me?
That is exactly what I'm saying, yes.
So I have to make them myself.
I don't know. How good are you at engraving?
I am never done that.
Well, you better find somebody who's bloody good at engraving, shouldn't you?
She's gonna look at Garrett.
I have got enough to do.
When you got a coin flip, there's bound to be a magic engraver there. Or why don't you talk to your girlfriend?
Also, engraving's not too far off stonemasonry work.
Don't you put that devil on me.
Well, I just thought, we're all supposed to be here to help support one another whenever we need something. I'm feeling very passed off right now.
I've done my part, and Cypher lounges back in a fucking thorn vine fucking hammock.
Fine.
Put it this
She
way.
Oh, go ahead.
If I stop what I'm doing to engrave 200 bottles for you, the money that you get every month from my bloodshot business will dry up like that.
Well, when you put it like that, well, why didn't you say so?
I did.
Oh. Well, she grabs her bottle and she goes, and then grabs the mock-up that that Cypher has put together and says, all right, I'll go seek some other help. Good day. And she walks out the door.
What I will say, though, is that with Cypher doing that, Vanya, you can understand now how it's been done. So if you want to recreate the effects to produce these, or at least the spell part for the moment, until you find out, more about the inscribing, you can do it.
Okay. But so I can do the spell, but I can't do the engraving.
Not unless you get someone to, go and find out how someone does it, and then maybe you can.
All right. Well, she is going to seek out Reza.
All right. So
You're welcome.
Before we go to Reza and Vanya, Garrett, is anything further on your end that you're wanting to bring up?
Yes. So I just want to ask a question about the bottles.
Okay, fire away.
Once the bottles have been opened,
Yep.
does the magic last, or does
No.
it dissipate?
It will definitely dissipate. These are, enchanted. It's almost like the corks that are put in the top of the bottles. They're not the magical part. It's a strip of parchment that's been etched that holds the spell. So obviously, once the cork has been opened and the bottle unstoppered, the magic does fade. So that's why they're only in pint.
Yeah.
Pint
So
size.
I could
Go on.
refill the bottles, put a new magical doodad on it, and
Absolutely.
they're Gucci.
Yeah.
Magic. That's all I need.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's exactly the case. It's not the glass that's enchanted. It's the ribbon around the stopper that the magic
Cool.
can imbue to. All right, Vanya's just gone AFK. So Reza, you're back after your little escapade.
Having had to spend 2 hours listening to Vanya try and recruit Colt into her cult, Reza enters the shadowed circle through the back door, one hidden in the
the thingy, and
Mhm.
she's like, God, I hope she's not around. And she kind of, I want to say she got back at the and hid just in time for Vanya to walk by and not see her
Roll me a
on
stealth.
her way to the.
Roll me a stealth
Oh
check.
God!
Vanya, roll me a perception check. Welcome back.
Oh, just in time. If only I had advantage right now.
Oh.
Like a ninja.
All right. So
Force.
Reza's just got back. She's been sneaky. Go on, Reza. Carry on.
She hasn't seen Vanya anywhere else, so she's kind of like loitering in the hall, hidden kind of behind like where the turnoff is to get to the shadowed circle from the Undercroft, and she's like, is she in there?
Who was that to? Sorry.
Elias.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that. It was a little too quiet.
Sorry.
The branch reaches down. Tip points towards the thorn room.
Shit. All right. Okay. Just I'm gonna wait for her to leave. So she kind of tucks back in and waits for Vanya to leave.
Vanya steps out of the thorn room, and Vanya, sadly, you don't see Reza tucked up, hiding amongst the brambles and the shadowed corners. As you step, where are you going towards the Undercroft or the Shadow Circle? Where are you going, Vanya?
She would have thought that Reza would have been in the Undercroft. So, but she's walking out, and she's just kind of examining the bottle, and that's why she doesn't see her.
Yeah, she's preoccupied. Yeah.
All right, Reza.
So after Vanya has gone past, Reza will head into the throne room.
Okay, we're back.
Like she walks in the door and just kind of like closes it behind her quickly and like leans against it and just lets out a deep breath.
Do you know how I know you're undead? You hide from the living.
That's the point for you. Right. No, I just spent way too long listening to a program. I just need a little break. Are the bottles in here? I assume the bottles are in here.
Yes, I have them in my bag.
So I'll just take a few for my own purposes, and she'll take 10 of the bottles and put them in her bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got mobile vampire snack food.
Yeah. I shall make a note to add that to your inventory later.
And she looks at Garrett and says, so how are you going to mix this shit with the bloodshot?
Well, glad you asked.
Oh no.
Well, I've got some here that I've put the same amount as human bloodshot in. And I'd like to see if a vampire's constitution would need more.
Fantastic. Well, is it in this glass here?
Yeah, there's like a little goblet on my...
Reza
Work
grabs
table.
it and chugs it.
Nice.
Constitution saving throw, please.
Never wanted to fail something so bad in my life.
You don't know the DC yet. Oh, I mean, a 19's pretty fucking good.
It's a 22 total.
So, I'm going to leave this to you, Reza. What's the effects of this on you?
I mean, is it enough to get a vampire?
Oh yeah. With the roll of a 19, you are still coherent, but yeah, this stuff certainly packs a punch. So I'm gonna basically say, to give you the option of just how good this is, whether he needs to add more bloodshot to it or refine it a bit more. This is completely down to you. No pressure. This will affect certain rolls in the future should people drink it.
Mm-hmm. So Reza kind of just stands there, smacking her lips a little bit as it makes its way through her system, and she's like, "Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. You have a chair."
Elias.
Branch extends from the ceiling, scoops around underneath Reza, lifts her up.
Not so fast, not so fast. Like, lovely. Gentle rocking. Oh, perfect. Okay. And she falls asleep. I'm gonna say that, considering her age and where she grew up, I don't think she ever had alcohol before she turned into a vampire.
Alright. Yeah.
She's never been drunk before, and this is very nice, and she feels very good, so she's warm and cozy and falling asleep.
Garrett, what do you do with that information? Do you make it stronger? Do you make it weaker? Do you keep it as it is?
I think for my next test, I'm going to require a different vampire. But maybe I'll start a bit weaker.
Alright, so with that then, going a bit weaker, Reza's set the baseline DC for this at 19. Going weaker.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be weaker. Yeah, it's going to be weaker. I don't want to kill anyone.
Making it weaker. Let's go for a DC of 16. Constitution saving throw going forward.
And so after about 5 minutes, Reza will be like, "Woo! Well, that was a nap. What's everybody doing? What's going on? Is there a party?"
Well, you tried the bloodshots. Court reserve, of course.
Yeah.
I think it might have been a little bit too strong for you, as you were snoring, dear.
I was snoring.
Yes.
Horrendously, and Cypher's still on his hammock, just swinging backwards.
Vanya, roll me a perception check.
And Reza's got one eye half closed and the other eye is like, does not know where to focus.
At some point over these few minutes, due to someone mentioning Reza snored horrendously, Vanya, you would hear maybe a few snorts towards the end before Reza woke up.
Oh, and she would know that sound too, and she would follow it.
You're welcome, Reza. So, with you now awake, Vanya, at some point with this going on, you can storm in at any opportunity you wish.
let's do it now that she's like completely relaxed.
Garrett.
There you are. Oh, go ahead.
No, I said, Garrett, there's a tap on your shoulder and a bit of creaking from Elias as you are informed that Vanya's on her way. And at that moment, the door... Go on, Vanya.
There you.
Can't hear you.
Oh, like you literally can't hear me, or?
I heard you say "there you" and then nothing.
Well, she just says, "There you are, Reza," as she walks in.
Hang on you.
She gets all giddy because Reza's
no.
never happy to see her.
How's my best friend doing today?
Vanya's gonna look at Garrett and Cypher and say, "She just called me her best friend."
Reza walks over and like hugs Vanya, but like half falls asleep on her with her arms draped over her shoulders.
And Vanya's just gonna like hug back and embrace it and just fully absorb this moment. You don't smell that bad, Reza. Not as bad as you used to.
What? No, you smell wonderful. Don't worry about it. No one will notice the stench of death.
Still hugging Reza. Just not letting go. She goes, "I need something from you."
What's that?
A couple of things. I need 200 bottles engraved.
What's
It's
engraved mean?
It's just two of them. Like, kind of, you know how you do like chiseling on your stonework? I need like the little things chiseled into 200 bottles.
You want me to make 200 bottles out of stone?
No. I have bottles, but there's just like this little strip that's on the bottle, and it needs just a little chiseling.
You're going to strip?
No, there's a strip on the bottle. And at this point, like, Vanya's gotten really close to her ear, and like Reza should be able to feel like her hot breath on the bottle.
You're gonna stand and strip on the bottle?
Will you do it?
Do what?
The 200 bottles.
You want 200 bottles carved out of stone? Yeah, I could do
Okay, she's gonna do it, guys. And then also, I need a carriage made. Can you get me a carriage made?
No.
What?
No.
No, it doesn't have to be
No.
beautiful, just something simple that carries things.
No.
What if I have something that you need?
And Reza's
in
like
exchange?
swaying back and forth now in her arms like she's singing a little song to herself while saying no.
I have something you need.
And when she says this, Reza just kind of starts eyeing her neck.
No. No, Reza, that's not. Garrett, if she lunges at me, what is she on? She's on something. She's acting weird.
Bloodshot.
Oh, okay. Vanya's gonna get out a piece of paper and write real quick. I, Reza, 200 bottles. We'll yada yada yada. Inscript them and build Vanya a carriage or seek out to get one. And she goes, Reza, I'm going to need you to sign this, that we had this discussion and that you agreed to do these things for me. Now, this isn't like her like legit contracts. These are just, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I mean,
Now, in exchange for this, and you can continue calling me your best friend, I will allow Garrett to see my business license to create you a business license, because all you asked for was a building, right?
Is Reza holding the pen and paper yet? Did you like hand it to her?
Mm-hmm.
So she's just kind of staring at it. And she's like, no more paper. No more paper. She shoves a piece of paper in her mouth and chews it.
God damn it.
Starts to run out of the room. No more paper. No more paper.
Vanya's gonna look at Garrett and say, How long is this gonna last for?
Ordinarily? That's what the test's for. Isn't science fun?
I'm gonna have to go through this again, but this was the perfect time because she was in such a good mood. Do you have
On
any
the
more of
upside,
that?
she's very huggy, so if you need a hug,
Yeah, I'm thinking about going and consoling her.
don't. She'll start crying again. Please don't. Oh god.
I don't have any paper on me, though.
And I
But
go
I'll
into my
just-
notes and write, maybe half strength. For next test.
Well, Vanya's just gonna head back to her room now and is gonna spend time to rewrite up the paper and just wait until all of the effects wear off from Reza to ask again.
What you can do, if you want, though, since you've got a bit of time, is roll me an investigation check, please, Vanya. As you begin to study the bottles themselves. Yeah, you get the impression that with a little bit of tutelage, you could easily do it yourself, but you try a few attempts yourself, but you end up, maybe breaking a couple of the spare glass vials that you're using to practice. But just with a little nudge in the right direction, you can easily get to the point where you're confident you can do it all yourself.
Good. I don't need Reza holding anything over her head.
Yeah. So yeah, with a little bit of a nudge in the right direction, for someone who's knowledgeable in engraving or glass blowing, sculpting, so on and so forth, not a problem. It's definitely something you can strike out on your own and do if need be. Also, Garrett,
Hello.
There's a couple of tendencies there you're showing that reminds me of another individual who likes making potions. Just saying.
I don't know what you mean, Potter.
I'm just saying. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Continuity. It's great. All right. But yeah, with that, it seems that we've got a pretty much tapped out for most people. Dorian, is there anything in particular or anything else you wish to do on this day?
Dorian has basically the only things Dorian did. He already went out in the morning. He came back. He was checking to see if he'd received word from anyone at the Folly.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all he's got going on right now.
All right, so if no one's got anything else that they want to get out there,
No, I'm just waiting for Valentina to get
Yeah.
back in.
that would be the next port of call.
Mm-hmm.
Hours pass. Eventually, when I find the scene, because I put it in the wrong place. There. Hours pass, and eventually, evening sets in around Novostoya. Here in the Shadowed Circle bar cipher, I'm going to say at this point, the Shadow Circle's actually it's a fight night. The bar is busy. Easily 40, 50 individuals sat around the tables, all drinking merrily, and 2 fighters have been pitted against each other. Not from the Lantern District. These are just more. It seems to be a bit of a beef between 2 of these smaller gangs who work under the Folly. The leaders have had a few disagreements, and therefore Falco proposed duke it out in the pit.
That's how beefs are sorted in the lower
Yeah.
streets now. No more gang wars. It's sorted out in the pit.
Absolute combat.
Yeah. So even the vast majority of the people here are, extended members of the Shadow Guard, the various gangs that operate under the Folly. They're all mostly members here who are drinking. Granted, in spite of being ruffians, they do have coin because Falco has gave them a stipend. So it's rowdy, it's loud, but they are well aware of the rules of this place. So there will be no problems. So with that as the backdrop, Valentina has already... In fact, Cypher, roll me a perception check. Why not? Let's see... let's see if you notice her come in, shall we? No. Not when Valentina rolls a crit on stealth.
He's got one eye.
One eye. I'm a little bit tired because I was fucking about.
Unbeknownst to pretty much the entire Folly, Valentina has made her way in and is now stood right beside you, Cypher. She taps you on the shoulder, and as you turn to see who's tapped you, she's already slid right in onto your lap. Hi.
This is a fun game, dear.
She taps you on the nose and grins beneath the porcelain mask as she nods. It is. It is. So, how are you, darling?
Okay. Let's nip this in the bud, shall we? Am I just something to entertain yourself with, or are you genuinely curious?
Just entertainment. So serious. And at that, she slides off your lap back onto the seat next to your Cypher. So serious today. Long day. Had it rough.
Yes. That's a shame, though. I too was curious, and I've been told that I'm a quick learner.
Roll me a persuasion check.
$20.
Maybe we'll put that to the test then, shall we? But not right now. Business first, pleasure later. Information. You wanted us to snoop around?
I did.
Well, have I got news for you? And at that, she's already back at your side, Cypher, booping you on the nose. So, Dirktown. I don't envy Alana. She was the one who slipped into Dirktown. We messed her up a little bit. Black eye, broken nose. Made her fit right into the unwashed masses. But pass on thanks to Garrett. The potion sorted her right out when she returned. But it seems that the Doctore have been feeding, clothing, watering the peasantry over in Dirktown, and little food banks that they go around in return for food and water, and in fact they've even got a few warehouses that they've opened up as shelter. The people have been flocking to aid them and assist them. There are 2 other warehouses just off on the docks, well, not so much docks, but on the canal, that they seem to be moving a lot of crates between, and that's where some of these peasants are being put into act as labourers. Now, some we know to go in, never come out, which, knowing the Doctore, points to only one thing. As for what they were shipping, well, they were putting it on barges, dressing them up very similar to agents from the road, and moving it down in the direction of Commons. Now, we couldn't really check. It seemed that when they got past Commons, they headed a little more to open water, to the opposite side, Coinflow, but I can't really see them getting anything into Coinflow. The merchant guard had stomped them into the fucking curb.
If they wouldn't before, they definitely will now.
You see her mask rise slightly, as if an eyebrow behind the mask was raised in question. Oh, okay. Interesting. You've done things on your end.
Of course, you don't think we just sit around all day, do you?
Well, you see, people in these high-flying positions that you're in, who get the pick of the jobs and do what they like. Who knows?
Indeed, but sometimes a personal touch is exactly the touch you need.
The touch I need, but other things. Scoped a few of the individuals out of the district office. Some of the guards there. They're also making their way back to Dirktown, but they're going such a long way round, heading out of the city down to the southwest, looping up Khartov and into Polta from the north, and then across, not using the bridges. They've got a small operation of a couple of rowboats that they're just ferrying guards to and fro. It's almost like they're trying to completely stay out of Polta, and just appear to be in the lower streets near the district office.
Interesting.
It's even, that's the same route we saw. They've got a man with a big pointy nose. It's not a nose, it's his mask, but a big pointy nosed mask, quite highly decorated. He also takes the same route back. He heads south with a bit of a guard, jumps on the boat, across the river, and that's his, seems to be his daily routine before heading and checking on the guards, then heading into the district office. It's all rather odd.
Dorian, do we have a name?
It's probably Jurin Van Ryzen, the one that's pulling Sandoval's strings.
I didn't
Wonderful.
get a
We know
name.
when he arrives and when he leaves, so
There's an hour or so's discrepancy depending on whether he's lugging around the giant crate with him.
great.
Yes, some of the times he's been spotted with a small four-wheeled wagon with a crate on. It's about 5 foot long, 2 foot deep, 2 foot wide.
Sounds like the coffin.
Oh, welcome back to the world of the living.
Shut up.
Teresa.
Why are you talking so loudly? Why am I here? Like, she'd been laying down on the table, asleep, and just sat up like a fucking daisy.
It's at that moment, yeah, that, "Whoa, go on, give him another fucking smack, George. Go on, you've got him. Yeah."
Yeah. Where's Garrett? I need to hurt him.
He's right
I'm-
behind you.
And I pull out a hip flask and I drink this. Don't worry, it's just what you need.
She looks at him and she drinks it.
It's just pure A-grade blood. There's nothing else in it. Just
Fuck
a
yeah.
rehydrator.
If you both noticed, I have added a couple of potions to your inventories.
Cool.
Lovely.
No. A couple.
I mean, you've got a bag of holding now.
Yeah.
You know, you can hold that many.
Even though you said a couple, 110.
Okay. But yeah, apart from the background noise of two fighters kicking the shit out of each other, you hear the high-pitched cry of Vern every now and again, trying to corral some more coin out of the gangsters gathered. Well, table's yours.
What's he doing with this helping Valentina?
Sorry, say that again. You're slurring your words a little there.
Sorry. What's he doing with this coffin, Valentina?
Nothing really, just they... And she reaches into her corset, takes out a piece of paper and reads over it. According to the report, the robed pointy man steps out back. A couple of the guards load the crate onto the wagon at the back of the office, and then from there they just transport it back to the water side where it's loaded onto one of the rowboats. They cross, and well, we've not really been able to confirm where they go after that. But then the next morning they come back by boat, crate loaded back on the wagon, and they take it back towards the administration office.
Weird.
My only thing... Has he got many guards with him when he moves?
The reports tend to say anywhere between 6 to 10. Not really had too many instances of tracking him just yet, but last night 10, the night before when we first caught him in the morning 6, so unless you wish me to get someone to watch him for a few more nights, to see if it's a regular occurrence or...
Yes, I'd like to know more about his movements, because we might need to have a meeting with him at some stage. Some pointed conversation.
All right. Is there any chance I could get a few more of those potions? 'Cause I've got a sneaky suspicion it's easier for a beaten, bruised, muddied individual to get closer than someone... and she just motions to her own attire, which is a little more fanciful.
And I stand up, go to the cupboard where we keep all of the bottles, and I take out a dozen.
She looks at these dozen potions on the table and just... Right, that's a few more than I anticipated. Thank you, Garrett. I will... Scarn! Be a dear and could you take these somewhere for me? You just see Scarn raise his head from the corner of the room, grunt, nod, and then look back to his book. Anything else you need of me?
Just as much information on the Doctore and their movements as possible.
Okay. I will endeavour to make sure I don't disappoint. Oh, and on the topic of not disappointing, Cypher, next time you've got a few days, let me know,
Of course. Night times are fine for you, right?
Think of it as when you've got a few days to let your hair down completely. We'll get together.
Reza's gonna whisper to Garrett, I told you, you're going to have the talk with him.
Yes, I think someone's in need for an education. Or he's about to get one, anyway.
All right. So with Vanya escorted by Skarn, who's got this crate of 12 health potions under... Well, I say under his arm. He's probably just picked the crate up between his fingers.
2 fingers.
2 fingers, yeah. Valentina will depart the Shadowed Circle, leaving you all a chance to plan, plot, and think over the information you've garnered today. And I think that's probably a good point for us to end it, if unless anyone has anything they wish to bring up as a final note.
No, I think we're good.
Excellent. We're pretty Gucci.
Goodbye,
So,
chat.
Start of the downfall of the Doctorian House Sandoval starts next week.
Like dominoes.
Cool. So with that, we'll end it there. I may have something to show at the end of this. Yeah, we will. Yeah,
you do.
Yeah. Okay. With that then, goodbye, chat. Rest of you.
Bye, chat.
Goodbye, chat.
Bye.
And see you next time on Pariahs. And more.
And more. Right. I'm going to mute you fuckers up. I'm going to head over to this screen temporarily. And everyone, thank you very much for joining us today for episode 12 of Pariahs. Yeah, schemes, plotting, political intrigue. It's the start of bringing down one of the great noble vampire houses. Ooh, that's going to be bloody and unpleasant. But what have we got coming forth? Obviously, next Sunday, starting 8 p.m. GMT, we've got episode 13 of Pariahs. But on Saturday, so that would be Saturday the 14th, we've got a small little other game. Small campaign, should I say. So I'm going to roll the video, and whilst doing that, try and find someone to raid. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I hope to see you all on Saturday, 8 p.m. GMT, for the start of a shorter endeavour in a completely different world. But yeah, with that, see you soon.